Why do people say semen retention means female attraction? Well, look, I've now been free for a very long time of porn and masturbation. I don't engage in any form of casual sex or anything like that. And I've coached hundreds of men to really help them quit porn, masturbation, and basically master semen retention. And in this video, okay, I'm going to explain the exact reason why this actually happens and with a wide variety of benefits that you'll actually experience once you really quit porn and masturbation and you're on your semen retention path. Okay, now I'm not gonna go and say, oh, it's because you have certain chemicals within your body that suddenly women will notice you or whatever BS. Okay, but because that's essentially that's just bro science. Maybe you feel better, maybe you're more healthy, but that's not the reason why you would attract someone or at least keep the attraction alive, right? What we need to first understand is that when we quit something which we use as a form of a distraction in our lives, and whenever things, for example, you have like a challenge, you have, for example, an obstacle you're facing, and what happens is you decide to just hide behind porn. You just decide to like hide and just go away from these problems in your life. What happens is you never really solve them. Whenever we procrastinate on something in our mind, we have tension, okay? Tension will arise, and basically with that tension, we might even feel more shame, okay, because we know that we haven't solved this or we haven't improved this area of our life. We also lose our own self-trust because we're like, well, I know I need to solve this and I haven't solved this in so many weeks, months, and years. I've been in the same exact situation. So can I even trust myself that I'm going to solve this problem at one point and then quit porn because I've solved this problem? We lose that self-trust within ourselves. Now, on the flip side, if you were to remove porn and masturbation and you could not hide behind those, what would happen is you would have to actually face those problems. And whenever you face those problems, you know that, for example, let's say your business hasn't been going well, right? And that's the biggest problem that's happening right now in your life. And so you're like, man, I really need to do something because I'm not going to make any money. Not having money oftentimes for most people means they're not going to have that much confidence. They're not going to carry themselves with that self-trust, with that self-respect, because they're like, man, I'm not even taking action. I'm not even getting any results. But whenever they face that problem, they will know unconsciously that at one point they will be able to really just solve that problem once and for all, okay? They will be able to get the results in their business at one point and potentially making their business successful. The momentum starts building up and then they'll start seeing results as they solve those problems in business. Oh, okay, I have this problem where I'm not making any money in my business. Maybe I need to do more volume. Maybe I need to take more actions. And so when you don't have porn and masturbation, it's like you'll naturally just have that as your only solution. You'll naturally be forced to go and take action so that you can improve your situation. And as a byproduct, obviously, you're going to carry yourself with more confidence. You're going to have more self-respect for yourself. You're going to have more self-trust. You're going to see yourself better overall. So of course, the opposite sex is going to think, well, look, this man is carrying himself differently. But on top of that, and this is the golden thing, you'll have maybe the results, right? And so that's what happened in my life. I used to be the guy that basically would take action and then I would hide. And that goes for any distractions, right? You can hide behind video games. You can hide behind porn. You can hide behind masturbation. You can hide behind drugs. You can hide behind parties, social events. You can hide behind so many distractions. And so the moment that I didn't have any of these distractions, and of course that happened a few years ago, what happened is I was constantly forced to just do the hard work and willing to be uncomfortable and willing to do what I think would move the needle forward, because that's all I had in front of me essentially, right? That's all I could do to feel better about my situation. It's really that simple. What it allowed me to do was to go harder in the gym, go harder on business, go and study more about faith and improve as much as I could on a day-to-day basis. And now I'm literally living my dream life because of that. And of course, my intention is not to show off or be prideful. You know, God knows my intention is best, but now I've been able to travel over 13 countries just this year alone. I've been able to write a book. I've been able to be a role model and leaders for those around me and those I've coached. I've been able to coach hundreds of men now and really live a life of purpose and freedom. And just a few years ago, I used to be the guy that thought no woman will ever be attracted to me, right? I never ever had even a single woman have any interest in me just a few years ago. Not even a single one, right? I was so desperate. I was so needy. I was this nice guy. I was trying to be nice with everyone. Guess what? Nothing happened. Not only did nothing happen, there was no sign of interest, not even the slightest bit. And even my own friends back then, a few years ago, said to me that I was ugly. And I believed that, right? And now everything changed the moment I did not have these distractions, because it just piled up and piled up and piled up. And now I live a life that is so interesting to the opposite sex that obviously it becomes a effortless to be quote unquote attractive. Now, here's other evidence to why semen retention means female attraction. You gotta also understand that just using logic, if most people live a life where porn is often consumed, and on top of that, that often comes with other things such as spending time eating junk food, just being distracted, not really putting in much work. It's not to say that we're better if we're practicing semen retention. It's just to say that it's logical that you would stand out. And again, I don't want you to think that this is like a prideful thing, but it's logical that you would be different and in a good way in terms of attractiveness to the opposite sex, because you'll just be living a disciplined life. And it's not hard to be different nowadays, and it's not hard to outwork people nowadays because most people are just distracted, right? And the problem is, once you are distracted, it's easy to just keep on being distracted because the problems keep piling up. And so whilst these problems keep piling up, if on the opposite side of things you decide to just constantly improve yourself and solve those problems, well, it's going to pile up also in a good sense. And so guess what? You're obviously like 1 or 2 years from now, you're going to be a completely different person. You're going to live the life that most people would love to live, right? And you'll be in the position of leadership because you'll have those results in your life. You'll have maybe the good physique if that's what you pursue. You'll have a successful business if again that's what you pursue. You'll have the knowledge in your faith, it's again that's what you pursue. And what's going to happen is people are going to come and ask you questions. How did you did that? And then you can really teach them and be a good role model for them. And first and foremost, you do all of this for God, and God is going to take care of the results. And man, your life will completely change. And again, of course, the opposite sex will be attracted to that. Guys, it's really that simple. We don't need to talk about prolactin and how you don't have dopamine now, so that's why certainly women will smell the retention off you. We all know that's more like bro science, right? So guys, I'm telling you, it is life changing, okay? Just go on my YouTube channel, click on the oldest video, right? Scroll down and you'll see me, okay? And I have it on my computer. You'll see me. I used to literally look like I was about to break apart, right? And that was just 3 years ago, 4 years ago, okay? And you see that basically I was so weak back then, okay? I had zero confidence. I was so skinny. I had no connection with God whatsoever. I was just living in my parents' house, doing the same thing over and over again, the same routine, trying to improve myself, read books. And I was so scared of even going out in public because I was scared to meet the people that used to bully me because I had no confidence. And now everything flipped, okay? And that was 4 years ago, okay? And so I'm telling you, it's going to change your life forever, especially if you keep the momentum going, okay? Don't ever give up on that.